I can't even look at this man. There seemed to be a bipartisan agreement between the internet and the media on how to portray Philippines. Option A, it's a slum filled with trash, designed to make Westerners feel better about their boring suburbs. And then option B, an exotic playground for vloggers and tourists to chase cheap thrills. But after being out here, I realized how wrong they actually are. And not only are they wrong, they are intentionally hiding the truth. Because after seeing how this place functions, their whole story falls apart.
Why does the corporate news cycle only fly into Southeast Asia when there is a Category 5 typhoon or a political crisis in Manila? It's not an accident, it's a business model. Western media deals in a very specific currency, condescension. When a Western documentary team shoots a segment here, they configure their lenses to look for open drainage and rusted iron sheets. They want you to see the material lack. Why? Because material lack is easy to measure, and it makes the viewer back home feel secure in their golden cage. Then there's the second lie, the exotic playground. Digital nomads and bottom-tier content creators come here to frame the country as a lawless, hedonistic fantasy where everything and everyone is for sale. They reduce an archipelago of ancient traditions down to a cheap nightlife strip. It's a monumental insult to actual fabric of this culture. The reality is that Philippine society is fiercely protective, deeply traditional, and quietly sophisticated. The backbone of this country isn't the nightlife, it's the matriarchy, the households, the local commerce, the communal decisions. They are held together by women who possess level of grit and emotional intelligence that would make a Western corporate executive look like a fragile child. When foreign influencers come here, acting reckless, thinking they are the main characters in a lawless paradise, they completely miss the invisible lines of respect that govern this place. There is an unwritten social code here. If you violate it with arrogance, the community doesn't scream at you, they don't cancel you, they simply withdraw their warmth. And let me tell you, there is nothing colder than being completely isolated in a country that thrives on togetherness. The media shows you the fraction of a percent that caters to tourists, because admitting that this is a highly moral, family-centric society ruins the fantasy of the wild, untamed East. And that's where the real personal damage happens. When you view an entire population through a lens of either pity or playground antics, you stop treating them as equals, you start treating them as props. We see it every day online. Foreign creators shoving cameras into faces of hardworking fathers, market vendors, or proud grandmothers, handing them a $20 bill just to farm emotional reactions for internet clout. It's a toxic savior complex masquerading as a generosity. What media completely fails to understand is that Filipinos are a deeply proud people. Not arrogant pride, but an intense, quiet dignity rooted in self-reliance and family honor. When a traveler treats a local like a background extra in their own country, or assumes that because somebody lives simply, they are desperate for validation, it is deeply patronizing. It forces locals into a brutal position. Because of the natural culture of hospitality and politeness out here, people will often endure this with a smile, rather than cause a scene. But underneath the smile is the exhausting psychological weight of constantly being looked down upon by people who haven't earned the right to judge them. The media narrative strips away their agency, turning a society of resilient individuals into two-dimensional charity case for the world of pity. If the global audience realized you could live here with less corporate dominance, less institutional hand-holding, and fewer material luxuries, yet still find a society with lower rates of isolation, high level of mutual trust, and an unbreakable community structure, the entire illusion of Western superiority falls apart. They want you to be terrified of the chaos out here because it stops you from questioning the loneliness back home. They reduce the entire sophisticated culture down to a two-dimensional stereotype because the three-dimensional reality makes the managed, sterile existence look like a bad deal. It is time to stop treating this country like a budget dumping ground, a charity case, or a disaster movie. The next time you see a headline or a video reducing the Philippines to a dirt or drama, look past the frame, because the only thing genuinely wrong here is the lens they are viewing it through.